I have no life. I'm on an org. I have 18k earned and 60k plus PR. I could probably become a tier 1 pro. Yo, what is up, boys? It's Jayth. Welcome back to another episode of Road to Tier 1 Pro. In today's episode, I'm going to be showing you guys everything that went on with Grand Royale and how we qualified for the Grand Royale finals. I'm going to be walking you guys through what was going on through my head in the reboot games, also how we qualified to the victory path so early, and I'm going to be trying to give you an inside look at like what IGLs are thinking about and how I led my team to victory in some of the most stacked reboot games to ever exist in Fortnite. Let's get right into it. So to start off, we played the load session on Friday. We ended with 127 points, which was 22nd place, and we needed to place top 33 to instantly go into the victory path. In these games, we had a clutch 13 kill win, which I'm going to make a separate video on, and then we ended our session with another 13 kill win and clutched our spot in the top 33. Once we made it to the top 33, we had 32 games or 32 chances to win one of them and move us to the finals. In our first session, Booga, Cease, Aminished, Simple, Blake, Scented, Agers, and Mudsy qualified straight to the finals. We did very poorly in this session. I'm not sure exactly where we ended, but we only had maybe 2 decent games. This game, my team was a duo because I died out of the air. And on this last game was the only end game that we played as a trio in this whole session, and we got 9th place. In the second session, Bank Teller, Nosh, Users, Fluclam, Zlem, Chronic Jays, Jamper, and Visuals all made it through, winning a game. And this was our worst session by far. I don't even know. Yeah, we got 33rd place in this session. Our mental was absolutely destroyed. We were so tired after playing all day, and the vibes were pretty poor because we hadn't played, or we'd only played one game as a trio in 16 games. This last game, they got an 8th place, and I was dead again. We got keyed for Surge, and I died, and they played this out as a duo. Our other games, and the session before, we didn't even have a drop spot. We were switching our drop pretty much every game, trying to find something that would work and trying to find something that was uncontested, and we just couldn't do it. We didn't give up though, and going into our third session, we played one game where we died instantly off spawn. The next game we switched our drop to Coral, we killed the team off spawn, and we won this game with 14 kills. That meant that we didn't have to play any of the rest of the games, and also we qualified straight to the finals. This is the game I'm going to review, and I'm going to walk you guys through exactly what was going on with our team in this game. Let's get right into it. I want to start off by saying that I played with Shadow and AG Savage. These players were really good, and we found each other a day before the event. So we had quite literally no practice together. We had almost no drop spot experience together, and we pretty much just winged it. I found the best 2 players that I could, and I ran with it. Where we usually drop is at Dinky Dish or Jarian's Dish, but we had been 50-50ing AV pretty much the whole tournament there, or like half of our games, and we saw that Coral Castle was uncon, so we decided that we wanted to switch it up and try a different spot. And we also knew that teams like Cease had qualified from here, so it was definitely, it was definitely possible, and it definitely had good loot. Now, what we didn't know is that we were going to be contested right away, and we were contested by players that were not too good at all, so it actually ended up helping us because we got early Surge right off the start, and Surge was everything in these reboot games. My teammate Savage gets Pump SMG right away, which is really good. He's going to hit him 62 white. He gets in and he kills one. We also get a knock on their third, and from here it's a 1v3, and all he has is a burst, so we pretty easily cleaned up this fight. Now, these games were honestly the most stressful and stat games that I'd ever played in Fortnite, especially playing so many of them in a row. The Surge was ridiculous, and the other hard part about it is because there was teams constantly leaving and new teams coming in, you didn't know what the drop spots would be like. You didn't know who was going to land on you. So there was a lot of info that you just had to like figure out as you played. So this game we see that Gonzo's team landed the split, and they're sitting here looking for Surge on us. We're also going to see the sweaty team come in and try to get surge on us as well because they know that we fought. This is going to be Zuni's, Coop, and Npen. And we outplay them pretty hard. Honestly, they rotate behind us, which I don't think was the smartest play. And we're going to be able to just hold them for surge on this hill. They think that they're holding us or, bullying us. But I had such a great position up here and such a great angle that I was able to sit here and just tap at them the whole time. So we get even more surge than we had from off spawn. Now let's look at a zone. So this game, the zone pulls top right. So we're going to try to rotate on this top side, this dead side, because we know that we don't have surge. And, my teammates are just using brick to protect themselves because there's so much brick in Coral Castle. It's an easy refarm up here. And while we're leaving, we find this llama, which was one of the most clutch llamas, in all of our games. You could argue that this llama pretty much set us up for the win. The chili splashes mixed with the cap mats just save so much time, and you can just move across the map faster, obviously. So I have this in ×4. I'm just gonna let it play out. I run into Stealthy and I get an IO car, and you can tell that Npen, Zunis, and Coop need surge badly. They're pretty much gonna chase us across the entire map. Because, they need surge. And we see that, so our strategy is going to be to get up this hill, and then we can look down and hold them, and there's nothing they can do if we're up on this hill, and they have to come up the hill because of the zone right here. Now, what ends up hurting us is that Gonzo's team actually beats us up the hill here, and they're going to do our exact plan, so we end up just having to base up out of zone, and wait for someone to make a move, because anywhere we go, if we try to go up, we'll get held, and we'll also get sprayed in the back. Now we try to go up right here, and we realize that it's not looking good. We're getting sprayed. There's still teams holding us. So we pretty much just base right here. We know that we have chug splashes, so we can just sit, and we can let them get hit by surge before we start to fight them. Now at this point, let's see what the surge is looking like. We are 491 above, which is really good, and they are 89 below. So the strat here is just to not give them damage, and we know that eventually we'll have free kills. You also have to understand how laggy these servers were. Savage gets a nice pump there, which puts them 6 above. They trade, but it's not going to last long. Now they're 80 above, but there's 90 alive, which means that 20 players have to go down. So basically they have to kill us, is probably what they're thinking. I'm going to just let this fight play out. We're pretty much just turtled. We have 1 flopper. I have 6 chili splashes, and Shadow has 6 normal splashes. So we know that we can just sit here and wait, in storm if we have to. Npen goes down from a team on the top, I'm guessing. We're just holding this right-hand peak here. And, in the lag, and they're getting ticked by surge, it's pretty much just over for Coop and Npen. There's nothing they can do to revive this. Zuni's is lurking above us, waiting for a pump that he just doesn't find. And now this is when they just get very aggressive because they know they're about to die. And this is when they drop on our wall, and we'll be able to get free pumps. You can see how laggy it is right now. 82 shot. And when the lag finishes, they should be dead to surge here. And they are. So we're able to get all of their mats. And now we can run to zone. And luckily enough, the team that was holding us is fighting another team for surge right now because they needed it. And so we can actually just run past them. We do look for a spray on them. We get some beams. But because all of these teams needed surge, they actually left their positions, which allows us to get to Weather Station and refarm all of it and claim it as our own. So that's exactly what we do. And we pretty much just farm this entire thing out. We get all of our brick back, all of our metal back, most of our wood back. So we get into a really good position for moving zones and the rest of the game. We're pretty much going to farm out the entire inside, getting all of our materials back. And we pull 5th zone, which is super clutch because we can continue to get our mats back and we don't have to farm anything. Now there's 67 up, which means that 17 players are going to be below on surge. So let's check our surge right here. Our surge was 404 above, which should be able to hold us here. We shouldn't have to key anyone or get any more surge. But we're going to look for a little extra tags because of moving zone. Now, Nani, Okus, and Dusky. Let's see what their surge was. They were 209 below, so they pretty much need a full kill and the finish to get their surge up. And we see them keying with pre-edits, and we know that we should drop right here. But because of how laggy it was, things get absolutely chaotic. Shadow actually goes down from the pre-edits. I spray his body all the way down to the bottom layer where Savage starts to res him. They don't know where I am exactly. Luckily I get out and I drop all the way down to the basement, and we pretty much just make this a barricade. Nani and them are dying to surge right here from above on Nico because they're just trying to get in, and then we're able to get all this loot after they end up dying. We fully heal. They're still taking a surge here. We gather the extra loot, and now we're just going to run out, chili splash. We're going to hit a pad, and we realize that no one's playing height, so for now we're just going to play height. But for reboot rounds, I had a general rule that was you never want to play height during first moving or second moving or even third moving. I think playing height and looking for height during third moving is like your best opportunity to do well. And that's because in reboot rounds, teams know that they need the win, and height most of the time wins games. Now, let's see if we had a pad here. Let's check our loot. So we have 111 builds, some good heals, 2 chili splashes, 66 builds, and 112 builds, good heals. So we don't have a pad, but I'm pretty confident that one of these teams are going to pad, which they do. So we wait and storm, we chili splash, and then we reuse their pad. Now, obviously, we could have tried to hold height, but it's not worth it, like I said, because teams are just going to psycho height in these games. Now, when I'm trying to find a spot to land here, Savage actually lands first, so I'm going to meet up with him, and I'm going to instantly just tarp and get us ahead. You can tell I'm running out of builds quickly. I'm only on 30 builds now, but my teammates are going to cap me out eventually. We're 118 below on moving surge, so we're going to need to find surge quick, or we're going to die. We're 153 below now. My mats got refreshed, and now I'm coming to my teammates. Okay, we're second height. We're going to drop next zone because we're getting sprayed, but we need to find surge, guys. We are 150 below, so we look for triple sprays. We get some damage, but not enough. Our tops are getting sprayed, and now when zone pulls, I say, get on me. We're going to drop. I'm trying to find somewhere to go here, and luckily I find this area where we can drop at. I'm going to build our head, do a nice job tarping. I get a good beam right there. Now we're only 101 below. We're 70 below. I have 64 builds. We're taking a surge right now, and all I have is 400 brick. So the fact that we win this game, I have no idea. I have no idea how we do it. I'm pretty sure Shadow gets a clutch kill right here, but the replay mode is lagging. He does. He gets a kill on Magnolia. It actually gives him a lot of mats, and it puts us 222 above on Surge. So that was probably the most clutch kill of the entire tournament right there. Now, I need to heal, so I'm going to split my hard mats to Savage so he can get ahead while I pop minis and bigs. Now, I realize we're second height, but this is when I make a really good call. Just based on the audio of the team spraying us, I can only hear one gun firing, and then there's a huge break in between when they start spraying us again. And so that tells me, and it's the same gun, it's an AUG. So in my head, I'm thinking, okay, there might only be one on height, or there's two on height, or they have no ammo, or they have no builds, but because there's only one gun spraying, and there's a pause in between the spraying, I realize that height is shambles. So right here, I'm calming to look for height. I see that they're held up on wood in the back, so I'm going to spray it out. And let's look at what height was. So height was actually a trio, so I was wrong. I didn't even know that. I'm actually learning that for the first time. 18 builds on Bully, 6 builds on Narwhal, and 15 on Tabney. So they are low on builds, though. And when we spray it out, I tell my teammates to look up here, and Savage starts to crank as they're going down. They don't even realize they're chopped yet. Bully takes fall damage. He's going to get ramped off. Shadow's going to start cranking for it. Bot Boy Tabney took a lot of damage on the fall down. He's going to pad back up to height. They really don't want to lose it here. Shadow hits a clutch shot with his gold spaz to take down Tabney. Bully's 1 HP. He has to drop. And from here, we're going to be able to win this game just by dropping down. So we have no white heals as well. So I'm calming to my teammates that we're going to need to force this game to end before heal off. That's something really important. I'll turn that back up. This game audio is so loud. And I got a kill in Storm. I'm going to go for the mats. That's just basic height playing. And from here, we just spray pretty much until we're out of space or out of room to spray anymore, and then we'll drop. Luckily for us as well, these teams were hard fighting. Like, nobody was healthy by the time it was our turn to fight them. Shadow actually makes an incredible play here. I'll put it to his perspective. We were out of mats completely. He hits a nice shot there. Another nice shot onto Casker. He's going to get both of these finishes and get all the builds. And now he can come back up to us. Now, if you look at the player health that we are versing, we clearly have an advantage here. Charlie has almost no health at all. Spegu has no whites and no HP. So this was a free win for us, and we didn't even know it yet. Now we're just going to continue to spray. They're trying to harpoon some loot, some mats. But eventually, we run out of builds, so we're just going to drop. Try to claim ahead with what we have. And Spegu makes an edit down. He actually misses his shot here. Savage is going to take out Charlie, and Shadow is going to take out Spegu. And we end up winning our second game of the third session, and we were absolutely going crazy in the call. I'm going to make another video with our reactions to winning this game, as well as an insane clutch from the session before. But overall, we were so happy to win this game and be able to stop playing these reboot games. And now we have qualified for the Grand Royale final, and I know we have a good chance of doing well. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Make sure to turn on notifications, leave a like and a sub if you enjoyed it, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.